कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे होगा हो रहा है लाइक
सब स्टेशन अच्छा है क्या प्रभु? रंजीत को ये सब फोटो फोटो वाला अच्छा है। हाँ, ये सब यात्रा में लेके जाइएगा फिर।
हाँ सब जाएगा
ये भी तो है।
माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद्भगवत चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। All glories to simple devotees. All glories to simple devotees. All glories to simple devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Guru. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 6 चैप्टर 1 टेक्स्ट नंबर 54। लब्ध्वा निमित्तम् अव्यक्तं व्यक्ताव्यक्तं भवत्युत यथा योनि यथा बीजं स्वभावेन बलीयसा। लब्ध्वा निमित्तम् अव्यक्तं व्यक्ताव्यक्तं भवत्युत यथा योनि यथा बीजं स्वभावेन बलीयसा
स्वभावेन बलीयसा
लब्ध्वा निमित्तम् अव्यक्तम् व्यक्ताव्यक्तं भवत्युत
व्यक्ताव्यक्तं भवत्युत
यथा योनि यथा बीजम्
यथा योनि यथा बीजं
भावेन बलीयसा
स्वभावेन बलीयसा लब्ध्वा निमित्तम् अव्यक्तं व्यक्ताव्यक्तं भवत्युत यथा योनि यथा बीजं स्वभावेन बलीयसा लब्ध्वा निमित्त अव्यक्तं व्यक्ताव्यक्तं भवत्युत व्यक्ताव्यक्तं भवत्युत यथा योनि यथा बीजं स्वभावेन बलीयसा
लब्ध्वा having gotten nimittam the cause avyaktam unseen or unknown to the person
unseen or unknown to the person
vyaktavyaktam vyaktavyaktam manifested and unmanifested
manifested and unmanifested
or the gross body and subtle body
or the gross body and the subtle body
bhavati come into being
comes into being
uta certainly yatha yoni exactly like the mother
exactly like the mother
yatha bijam exactly like the father
exactly like the father
swabhavena by natural tendency baliyasa which is very powerful translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The fruitive activities a living being performs, whether pious or impious, are unseen cause for the fulfillment of his desires. This unseen cause is the root for the living entity's different bodies. Because of his intense desire, the living entity takes birth in a particular family and receives a body which is either like that of his mother or like that of his father. The gross and subtle bodies are created according to his desires. Purport. The gross body is the product of the subtle body, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 8.6. Yam yam vapi smarana bhavam tejatyante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kante dadat bhav bhavita. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. The atmosphere of the subtle body at the time of death is created by the activities of the gross body. Thus the gross body acts during one's lifetime and the subtle body acts at the time of death. Subtle body, which is called linga, the body of desire, is the background for the development of particular type of gross body, which is either like that of one's mother or like that of one's father. According to Rig Veda, if at the time of sex the secretion of the mother are more profuse than that of father, the child will receive a female body. And if the secretion of the father are more profuse than those of mother, the child will receive a a male body. These are the subtle laws of nature which act according to the desire of the living entity. If a human being is taught to change his subtle body by developing a consciousness of Krishna, at the time of death, the subtle body will create a gross body in which he will be a devotee of Krishna. Or if he is still more perfect, he will not take another material body, but will immediately get a spiritual body and thus return home back to Godhead. This is a process of transmigration of the soul. Therefore, instead of trying to unite human society through pacts for sense gratification, that can never be achieved. It is clearly desirable to teach people how to become Krishna conscious and return home back to Godhead. This is true now, and indeed at any time. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Utaha Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tapsajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyapadi Paschatya Deshatani Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanusute Pranamami Hari Hari Hirachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmani Balabhadra Subhadrakyam Jagannathari Panchakalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 1, text number 54. Translated is like this. The fruitive activities a living being performs, either pious or impious, are the unseen cause for the fulfillment of his desires. This unseen cause is the root for the living entity's different bodies. Because of his intense desire, the living entity takes birth in a particular family and receives a body which is either like that of his mother or like that of his father. These gross and subtle bodies are created according to his desire. So this is a great science. How this world is moving. There is no knowledge given in our education system. Hmm. Such important subject matter. How our bodies are changing. The present body we have received is a product of our previous uh, actions and desires. Whatever we are desiring now also will get tangible form in the future. So therefore, devotee should be very cautious about what to desire and what not to desire. Materialistic people are always desiring materialistic things. Money, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. For them they need money. To defend others, they have to make so many plans. They have to get more powers than the other people. So that struggle is constantly going on. And so many desires are being created because of such environment, and we don't realize also. Ashesha kamana rudhi maji mana. One after another desire keeps on coming. And even if those desires are not fulfilled, they go into your account. And that's how Paramatma, the Lord's arrangement, they create facilities so that one can fulfill the desires in this life or next life or next lives. So that's how we get entangled in this material world. Life after life changing the bodies because of the material desires. Karmis are absorbed in sense gratification. So those who are sinful, they cultivate such desires for which this human body is not fit for them. Some people are living like dogs or cats. Their activities are like that, not like human beings. Eat any kind of filthy things, no regulations, sleeping anytime, and thinking about how to have these sensual pleasures, especially sex pleasure. So then naturally their minds are filled with such desires, and because of the greed and envy or lust, those desires multiply, and that's a natural result of such desires. They get a particular body where their desires are fulfilled. They may not be fulfilled in human body, so then lower bodies are given. So we think of any desires, and there is a particular body created to facilitate those desires to the fullest extent, to satisfy those desires. And the law is this: yam yam vapi smaranam bhavam tejatyante kalavaram. So whatever state of consciousness one remembers at the time of death, what will one remember? Based on one's desires and what one deserves for also. Just like we go to the market, we desire to purchase some things, but we also know how much money we are carrying. So accordingly we desire. Again, those unfulfilled desires, which is going beyond your budget, that also get added to your desire quota, desire storage. When you get more money, again you think out those things. So it's very complex. Just by moving around, interacting with people, our minds get hooked to those desires. So whether it's pious or impious, it's mentioned here that fruitive activities, then to fulfill those desires, naturally one is busy Those who are sinful, they get anyway the lower bodies, and those who are pious, they have some pious desires, so they are involved in fruitive activities. Fruitive activities means to perform activities to get some fruits of those actions so that one can enjoy in the future. That's called fruitive activity. Just like in modern times, people are working very hard day and night to earn more and more money, hoping that in the future I will not have to work. I can just go on enjoying. This is the idea. And they don't believe in the Vedas, scriptures, most of them. So then they just follow the laws of this particular times the man has created and think that my actions will produce the results which I can enjoy. Everybody is busy. But actually, from the proper sources of knowledge, if they understand that these activities, what they are doing, are not actually producing results, but their previous pious activities are producing results. But still, this fruity mentality is there. That I want to act and get the fruits, and then I want to enjoy. And why it is frustrating to the modern man is because he doesn't understand that his fruits of his actions are not dependent on his own actions. Just there are other 5 factors also out there. Karmana, Daiva Netrena. Daiva is also there. Or Adhishthanam Chakarta, Karanam, the Adhishthanam, the body. Karta means the soul, initiator of the actions or desires. Karanam means the instruments. Daivam, super soul. And Cheshta, the action. So these 5 factors determine the result of one's action, not just one's own action or desires. So this understanding is not there. Therefore, in spite of working very hard, when you don't get results, then one is frustrated because he thinks, I am the only doer. Ahankara vimunatma karta aham iti manyate. Only I am the cause of my actions and I am the doer of my actions. So this frustration is coming because they don't understand the higher subject matters. They think I am the only doer. And when they get results, they become proud. And when they get failures, they become depressed. And they don't have any higher goals also in their lives. And therefore, when they are failure, they go into deep depressions because they have nothing else to do in life. Very narrow-minded consciousness. You can see now today's world how people are just thinking about money, package. In IIT, during placement times, you can see such narrow-mindedness. Or to speak of placement, before this internship also they are so much. 2 months they have to do some internship somewhere. Few years back nobody would care for us much. Now it has become such a craze that people are committing suicide, that they are not getting internship. Right? 2 months internship they are not getting. One of the topper of the department, he committed suicide because he's not getting. Somebody else got it. Such narrowness, narrow-mindedness. They think that there is nothing else to do in life except these 2 months. What is the use of intelligence? Intelligence means to see the things from broader perspective. Mahatma. Mahatma means a broad-minded personality. He is able to see the things as they are. But those who are kripanas, miserly people, miserly means they are simply thinking about immediate pleasures like child. They cannot see the things in a broader perspective. They think I am the only doer, I am the only enjoyer. Vedic culture was broad-minded. People are taught that you are not the only doer. So there are other factors. There are so many demigods, devatas are there, and the Supreme Lord is there, and you are receiving from them the things. Mercy. Then you also have to reciprocate back to them as a gratitude. So even if you get results, you don't become proud. Rather, you express your gratitude by giving something back. And if you don't get the results, then also you don't get depressed. But this enjoyership mentality that I should only enjoy the fruits of my actions makes one either proud or it makes one depressed. When you get results, you don't want to share the results with anybody else. You just want to enjoy yourself. And when you don't get results, then one is depressed. But this knowledge is taught to the people, they can be saved from all such frustrations and depressions and suicides and all these things. It's taught from in the education system right from childhood. That they are not the doer of their actions. Krishna says, Karmanyavadikaraste Mahapaleshu Kadachan. You have right to perform actions, but you are not entitled for the fruits. Both ways. That first is that you are not the only doer of your actions. There are other factors are involved. Therefore, you are getting the results. Second is that because there are other factors are involved, that you are not only the possessor of that fruits. You need to give away the fruits back, because you are receiving so much from the others. Devarshi, Bhutapta, Nrunam, Pitrunam, Devatas, Rishis, people in general. People think, no, I have got it, it's mine. No. Veda says, these all people have been helping you. Devatas, Rishis, Bhuta, Apta, Nrunam, Pitrunam. How can you claim proprietorship over the fruits of your actions? Then you are a thief. You are taking all the credit. So therefore, in Vedic culture, it was thought that by charity giving, then you are expressing your gratitude. There is nothing to become proud of giving charity. Rather, one should feel that I am doing my duty. I am receiving so much, I need to pay back, give back. Otherwise, I will be considered thief. Therefore, Prabhupada actually emphasizes many places 50%. At least recognize 50%. Because to perform any activity, you are receiving so much from the Lord and His arrangement. Actually speaking, everything belongs to Krishna. Nothing belongs to us. But at least one should recognize that give away some fruits of your actions. Otherwise, one will be always in anxiety. Because such material world is made that when something is not yours, first of all, everything belongs to Krishna. And we are trying to grab. It will be taken away by material nature eventually. So therefore there is a constant fear associated. When you think that things belong to me, when you understand things belong to Krishna and utilize everything in His service, there is nothing to fear. Attachment to the things means these things are mine. That is attachment. Material attachments. And because of these material desires, living entities absorb into these fruitive activities. Every time any action is done, selfless action is very rare to see in this material world. When a person can do selfless action, when he sees the complete picture, is able to accept that I am a very small, insignificant person, and that love is awakened for Krishna, then you naturally perform selfless actions to reciprocate with that love. Material desire means trying to independently enjoy from Krishna. Take Krishna's resources, everything, claim to be mine, and enjoy. And such kind of attitude, the material desires will keep on multiplying. More one enjoys, more lust will increase, greed will increase, envy will increase. That's the nature of material enjoyment. There is no question of satiation. Material desires means no satisfaction. Like fire, it will increase more and more. By spiritual activities only one will find fulfillment. When you actually render, reciprocate with Krishna's love, you reciprocate with service. That's why Tyaga Shanti Manantaram, you give away things to Krishna back. That will give you peace. Tyaga. Holding on things which are not ours. Now in Kali Yuga, not only people are not holding the things what they are given, okay, by the arrangement of their natural arrangement, something is given to us by Krishna. Ishavasya sarvam yat kinchim jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita. Something is given to us. But now they are grabbing on other properties, others' eyes. They are eyeing on the other's property. First of all, whatever is given to us, also not ours. It's given to us. This material body is given to us. Everything is given to us. By Krishna's grace, things are coming to us. Manasa deha geha jo kichumur. So tena tyaktena bhunjita means one has a right to, enjoy what is allocated to you, quota. So this is not even recognized that something has been given to me. What is not given also they are trying to encourage property of others out of greed. When one is greedy, lusty, he becomes blind. He cannot see the things properly. Then the logic works. How everything belongs to me. Otherwise, how the thief is able to steal? We all understand it's somebody else's property. How the thief is going and stealing? Because of this material desires, one is blinded. He cannot see the things as they are. So to the degree a person becomes blind like that, he cannot see things. But we can see the things to some degree. We can see the thief is not doing properly. Similarly, the Vedas or Gita says that when you advance and see the demigods and Lord's arrangement, you can see that earlier I was a thief, not recognizing them. Now we don't think that, people don't say that they are thieves. They say, no, I am doing well, my family, I am running my business, I am doing this, I am doing that. Why God is required? They think that they are very, good. They are not doing harm anybody. Like one gentleman came to Prabhupada and said, what is God required? I am having my business, I don't cheat others, I pay my taxes properly. Then why I need God? That means he is not recognized in that, the God's arrangement. Prabhupada said you are a thief because you are taking everything property of God, utilizing for your business. And now you are saying that where God is required. There are demigods, you are taking sunlight, you are taking moonlight, you are taking from the air of the air god, you are taking this air, you are taking water. So many things we are taking in our lives. But this uh, ungrateful heart creates so many theories in this material world that everything is coming by chance. It is a result of ungrateful heart. You become blind. Just like a thief creates his own theories. How are people able to do such big crimes, cyber crimes and so many crimes? Crores of rupees they are able to take away from the other person's account. They are human beings. What convinces them? They become blind because of their greed. And they have their own logics. People say, survival of the fittest. You can just grab the things, just like a tiger is grabbing the flesh from the deer, survives. So they have their own logics. Whoever will be stronger will survive. Like that people have their logics. Otherwise, how they are stealing? How they are doing crimes? They are convinced about their own activities. And therefore they are suffering. Everybody is suffering. We are also suffering. Why? Because we are also convinced about that. Science says that everything has come by chance. Where is gods? All these things are by chance coming. Evolution, everything has come. So we are not convinced in our hearts that there are higher arrangements. We are accountable for that. And when you become advanced, then you become naturally, one side is grateful, or at least you understand it is my duty. I am taking so many things, duty bound. Then, because of that, you experience a peace and satisfaction in the heart. Because otherwise, it is like a thief's heart. We will be restless always, fearful. Why fearful? Because uncertainty. Anytime, anything can be done with us by this. So many agents around us. Just like person who are not paying income tax, they are always fearful. Anytime income tax office may put a raid on me. So we sometimes may not know the exact cause, but this fear is there in the heart. Because we are living in the material world. There are so many factors, so many agents who are going to act on us based on our previous karmas. So therefore there is uncertainty and there is a fear. Otherwise there is no uncertainty. For a devotee who understands the whole system of the Lord and he cooperates, there is no danger at any step for him in his life. So he sees clear picture. Padam padam vipadam natesham is for the people who are blinding themselves from the reality, seeing the reality, acting based on the false realities or the whatever they are convinced in their mind. They are not able to accept the actual truths of life. Imagining things. But one who becomes spiritually awakened, he can see things as they are. And therefore, such a person becomes peaceful. What to fear? There is nothing to fear. Krishna is there, most loving personality, and all his. If I just align myself with his laws and surrender to him, then what has to be fear? Fear is only way of leaving Krishna. Fear is only of acting whimsically under the mind's demands or ego's demands. Otherwise, there is no fear for a devotee. Abhay Charana Arvindare. Taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. So this Prabhupada says is materialistic scientists and materialistic people do not want to think about their life, next life, because it is very, very dark for them. Because they are breaking so many laws of God, they are unable to accept the realities. And therefore they don't want to discuss about it. And therefore, so many theories come up. Unlawful desires, when one cultivates in the heart and become addicted to those desires, then one is unable to accept the reality. Same thing, like whether it's a thief or is a drunkard, they have developed desires. It's not that they don't know tobacco eaters. They have knowledge. They can see the packet. But still, they have developed desires and therefore they are unable to accept this. They don't want to think about it. देखा जाएगा बाद में. Like that. So this is a voluntarily accepted ignorance. That we want to live in ignorant life, to enjoy particular pleasures. And then we keep on arguments. But if one becomes humble and understand that I am suffering because of these things, how to come out it, then everything becomes very crystal clear. That false pride doesn't allow one to accept things. Addiction to the wrong desires and the false pride on the top of that. I think it becomes complex. Otherwise, spiritual life is very simple and everything can be. Sometimes one thinks that now I have become such a great person, last so many years I am practicing. If we are practicing so many years or not, that we have to see what is the advancement I have made, is how much I am surrendering to Krishna, how much is I am ready to accept the realities, not just spending time years. Real advancement means one is seeing this, but unfortunately I am senior for so many years. I don't need to do things now. I can understand. We have to see how much advancement we are making, means how much we are able to align ourselves with the truths given in the scriptures. Paramatma is watching all times. We also watch. But if you are not, somebody else is watching. Karmana daiva netrena. Daiva netra. So they are seeing all these desires and all our activities. And based on that, we will be avoided next our situation. So the real purpose of human life is to transform these adverse desires and to develop spiritual desires totally, so that our subtle body is not required, melted. When your desire becomes pure, you don't need this subtle body, and therefore you don't need another gross body also. Dismantle. At the time of death, by force the gross body is dismantled, but subtle body, one is very attached to it, his desires. So therefore one creates another gross body based on those unfulfilled desires, which are many. Ashesha Kamana. So spiritual life means to give up desire, all material desires, and to cultivate spiritual desires. Spiritual desire means to please Krishna. What will give happiness to Krishna? So actually one becomes detached. But when we are attached to our own pleasures, egos, then it is very difficult to free our minds from those misconceptions. Krishna willing, we would do like this. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur used to say this. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would always ask devotees. He is the Supreme Lord. When he were to go to South India, Yatra, he was asking devotees. Whom he was asking? Sarvam Bhattacharya. He was just a 1 month old devotee. Sarvam Bhattacharya was delivered in month of which month? When Mahaprabhu took sannyas and he went to Puri, he took sannyas somewhere in January. And I think next month he went to Puri. And next month that means around that time only, Falgun he took sannyas, and in Chaitra. Chaitra, next month he delivered the Sarvam Bhattacharya. And then the next month, Vaishak, he wanted to go to South India. And then he's asking devotees, "Oh, please kindly give me permission." Nityananda Prabhu, Damodar Pandit, and Mukunda. And who was there with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at that time? No, 4 devotees travel from here. Nityananda to Jagadanand Pandit, Damodar Pandit, and Mukunda. They were associates traveling from the after sannyas. So Mahaprabhu is asking them that, please, can I go to south to search out my brother? For a long time I have been not. So I want to meet him. Then he asked Sarvam Bhattacharya also. Sarvam Bhattacharya requested, please kindly stay for 5 more days in my home. I have just, after so many lifetimes, I have been given this opportunity to become devotee. How I can bear the separation from you? So Mahaprabhu stayed on his request for 5 days. So Vaishnava culture means you'll find that devotees are always, even if they are very, very advanced. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, when he was given instructions to write Chaitanya Charitamrita, he was going and asking all devotees blessings. After Mahaprabhu asked blessings of all the devotees, took permission, then he went to Jagannath to pray after that. Similarly, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami taking blessings of all the Vaishnavas, then he went to ask Madan Mohan's blessings. Madan Mohan's garland fell on his neck. So that's how the life becomes very simple. Otherwise, our minds will keep on putting so many unnecessary pressures on us. What to do and what not to do. If we are having this understanding, what Krishna wants me to do, and what Krishna wants me to do, we have to find out that from Hari Guru Vaishnavas, what Hari wants to do. There are Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, and the spiritual master, we ask them, take their blessings. Krishna is not to just see our expertise to get the things done. He sees our spirit. What is our spirit of doing things? Talents and expertise, no. He sees the spirit of devotion. And that spirit is expressed with humility. What exactly I have to do? Blessings of the Vaishnavas. We receive the blessings. Not forced blessings. Genuinely asking their blessings. Otherwise our minds just carry away us to things, ego, mind, and then we justify. That's what usually people do. Their desires and their demands of their ego and mind, they force to act under the modes, and then they come the justifications. All big leaders, big scientists, everybody is acting like this. What to speak of them, we are also acting. You can see it. And then there comes the justification. Theories come later on. You can observe it very well in our lives also. And what about their lives? They don't care for the Gita's teaching and everything. What is their quality of their desires? Filled with all material desires and egos. And then they come up with different theories. And when 10 people come together and agree for some theories, and who are leaders, everybody has to say for it. And we also believe, unfortunately, so-called science. From childhood we have been taught all these things, not to believe so easily things in authority of Bhagavad Gita and scriptures, because of our own material desires. We have been injected in our own hearts. We are acting under the modes of material nature that we don't realize also. We are very convinced about what I think is right and what I see is right, my perception, my experience. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said useless. You are talking about your own experience of life. You are talking about your own convictions about your lives based on your material perceptions. If they are not matching with the scriptures and the great acharyas, what is their value? They may be eulogized by the materialistic people, but what is the value? From the spiritual perspective, no value. So this fruitive activities means same thing, that because of the improper material desires, one is constantly thinking about how to get fruits and how to enjoy the fruits by actions. Whether pious or impious. Sometimes after coming to devotional service, people don't realize. They get absorbed into pious activities. Let me do some pious activities and get some, you know. That's why sometimes people are afraid. So many people will come and try to say, Grahan is coming, this is happening, Pitra Pakshi is coming. Why people become overly sometimes afraid about these things. Rather than understanding what Vaishnavas are supposed to do, they go to the karmis, these karma kandis, to consult about such things. But we have to see how our Vaishnava acharyas have acted. We have to see the spirit behind it. If spirit is karma kandi, then we get entangled. Many of the actions, what karma kandis do and devotees do is the same, externally. But the spirit is different. That we don't understand. Sometimes people quote, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did like this. He went to Gaya to perform Pindadan. But if you read Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's commentary, details about what exactly happened, why Mahaprabhu did, what was the spirit, it's completely different than what people quote for it. Lord Ramchandra also did it. So the Vaishnava, that's why Gopala Bhatta Goswami wrote this Samskar Deepika. Na? Samskar, what is that? Shat Karma Deepika. Sat Kriya Sar Deepika. Na? He had, because of this Karma Kandi mentality only, to save us, he has written that how to perform those activities properly. If one wants to perform, because of whatever is social. Otherwise, what is recommended is just absorb in Shravanam, Kirtanam, all these activities. One need not do anything else. Bhakti, 24 hours. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Dasyam. And through that, we maintain ourselves. We don't have to do so many other activities. Purpose of all the activities is to glorify Krishna, to hear about Krishna, to speak about Krishna. And our acharyas have given us, okay, you want to maintain your body, how to eat, how to take rest, everything is. When you perform archanam, serve the deities, automatically your food is also arranged by that as a prasadam. So whatever we need, that has to be everything done with Krishna consciousness. We don't have to do separate activities. Separatist mentality should be given up. Everything should be done for Krishna. And accept like that. So when by doing like this, our material desires are transformed into spiritual desires. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurusya madarpanam. You offer it to Krishna directly, madarpanam. And then when there are no more material desires, Prabhupada was asked, what is your desire now remaining? Any unfulfilled desire? Prabhupada said, kuch ichha nahi. Kuch ichha nahi means not that no desires, no material desires. Krishna willing, Whatever Krishna wants, let me execute his will. His mind is completely peaceful. He's simply thinking about how I can give happiness to Krishna. There are no demands, hankerings, finished. The mind is no more having any greed, lust, envy, pride, such feelings are not there. Only the spirit of service. How I can do some service for Krishna. Kim karoti. Karishye vachanam tava. Kim karoti. My dear Lord, what is your desire? That is how the devotee is. He is not a passionate worker, he is not an ignorant fool. He is active, but that activity is in full love with Krishna. Otherwise, he is simply thinking about sitting down also. Everything is done for Krishna. Hanuman is sitting on the flag. Arjuna. Arjuna is active. It's not Hanuman is not active. He is active in a different way. There is no question of not being active, devotees. But Arjuna was active to fight, like Hanuman was active like that in Ramayana. But in Mahabharata, Hanuman is just sitting down and creating fear for others by shouting. He is not utilizing that talent of fighting, because he understands now Arjuna is playing the role. So he wanted to do some service. So he was serving in a different way. Service aspect is not gone. Service attitude is not gone. The mode of activity may change. A similar desire is not finished. The quality of desire is changed. That is what Krishna consciousness is. When one becomes fully Krishna conscious, he has no separate desires. He has no desires arising by the modes of material natures, dictated by the Maya. Is all inspiration coming from his heart, Krishna. Still, such a devotee wants to find out whether really Krishna wants it. It is always his desire. So, if the human being is taught to change his subtle body by developing consciousness of Krishna, at the time of death, the subtle body will create a gross body in which he will be a devotee of Krishna. And if he is still more perfect, he will not take another material body, but will be immediately get a spiritual body, and thus return home back to Godhead. This is process of transmigration of soul. Therefore, instead of trying to unite human society through pacts for sense gratification that can never be achieved, it is clearly desirable to teach people how to become Krishna conscious and return home back to Godhead. Okay. These are the laws of nature, subtle laws of the nature, which act according to the desire of the living entity. So that's why sometimes it's said that this whole material world is created by living entities. Bhagavatam sometimes says that. It's created by the living entity means because of the material desires of the living entities, Krishna has to create this. It's not Krishna want to create this material world. Just like the jail is created by people who have criminal mentality. They create the jail. Otherwise, why the government will create jail? If there are no people having criminal mentality, will the government create jail? So who has created the jail? Government created or the criminals created? Criminals create the jail. Government is creating offices and everything for all good things for the people. But because the criminals want to create jail, means because of their mentality, the jail is created. Similarly, this material world is also created by the living entities who are want to separately enjoy from Krishna. Krishna only creates it, but because they want it. So that's how it is. So some place it is said that living entity creates this material world. Because, some place I had read it, I don't remember exactly. I have to find out. When I was in Calcutta, some place it said that living entities creates this material world. No, some place it is also said that this material world is created by the living entities. And it's true also. What is responsible for this creation is Krishna is not responsible. We are responsible. Somebody will say, why the government has created jail? Government says, we are not responsible. These are people responsible. Any other questions? Questions, comments? So these desires which are born from the modes of material nature, the devotees, the Prabhupada says again and again that by our sadhana, by our proper following Vaishnava Sadachar and seeing the Siddhant or the sevas what we are doing, the purpose is to change our consciousness. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. That means we need to come out of this modes of material nature which are acting on us. Sometimes we see that we get involved in such passionate activities in the name of Krishna consciousness, and we get entangled into those things. Professor, we should try to come to the mode of goodness. Not that we have to degrade our consciousness into mode of passion and ignorance, so that we get the clarity. In mode of goodness, you get the clarity. You can see the things as they are, and you can get a sense of satisfaction also. One becomes peaceful. Sukham and Jnanam, both the things come. By following for proper regulative principles of Krishna consciousness activities, we come to the mode of goodness. Now today's danger is that the whole world is going with so much passion and ignorance, and we are associating with these materialistic people also, and we get affected by their modes. Through this internet is filled with passion and ignorance. We are utilizing this, but whether we are utilizing that or we have been utilized, that we need to see. The coming to the mode of goodness is our duty. That we need to come to the mode of goodness and pure goodness from here to transform. The spiritual activities designed by our acharyas are there to elevate our consciousness. So we should see that we are not affected by the lower modes. Everything, we are dealing with materialistic people, dealing with media, dealing with these instruments, machines. So it's challenging to keep us in the mode of goodness in this passionate and ignorant environment. But still, it's our duty. We cannot blame the situations around us. Devotees should make sure that they are regulated. Regulations actually bring us to the modes, higher modes. Mode of goodness means one is regulated. There are questions there? Anybody else?
YouTube. Someone called Lucy is saying hi.
Huh?
No questions. 2-3 comments by Alonso and Lucy.
Huh?
Alonso and Lucy have comments. I don't know if they're people. No questions.
Comments? What comment is?
Hola. Hola is Spanish for hi. YouTube.
Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
4 likes, 4 views.
क्या likes?
Clap. स्टॉप कैसे होता है? अरे उसको स्टॉप कैसे? लाइव
हो गया सर
चल
लाइव